Let me tell you about the journey with my friends, guys, that are not imaginary. Okay, so the person who had the most cameos in this thing was James, alright? The legendary light skinned guy from the reality show. James had the second to utmost cameos where it came to visibility, where it came to strength, especially when it came to length in my life. You wanna know why? Because James is that nigga, Lily. In the movie, he was right under me, Lily, and on the streets, not a Llewellyn, but obviously international. He was my sidekick, okay, literally. And from there on, we went on, various adventures and journeys along with Courtney. So, Courtney, how many times I see him? A little bit more than 10. But the police actually showed me Courtney. Lily, we said, "That's my fucking samurai." You need to understand that. Robert Rusin, Lily was obviously there. All right, Lily is so is Marana. Lily, and all the way to the point, Lily, why still visible sucker? I am telling you, when it came to 2021, I had no misconception with my mother. You want to know why? I was uploading music, I was uploading videos. Lily, bitches would like me for the wrong reasons, but as you know, me, Mootrix, Eris, the devil, Lily, I take it bad, Lily, that people are full of shit, and I use the greed and pleasure against you. You want to know why? You're white, you're plain, and you're sticking in that I'm a specialist, I'm sticking in that you have Down syndrome, and you're confident to say something, and you're 10 times, thousands more times more specialist than me. Alright, Lily, therefore, Lily, while I broke up the bitches Lily early in the morning, one of them tried to Lily liking my music was Kimmy. So Kimmy sucked me up, and Abby sucked me up, Lily, in my almighty way. Then Robin sucked me up, and that's the meaning of this fucking video. Lily, I'm telling you, so from there on then, me, my boys, Robert Roos, and Lily, and all my friends from junior high, that includes the chance, Lily rocked down International Boulevard. Lily started dancing, Lily, and went on various adventures and journeys every single day, alright? So it's true, Lily. No matter how far we went, Lily, to what stores we went to, Lily, you think it's fake? This is the break dance that they with Marissa Pamela, okay? Lily, it's completely fucking true, alright? Lily, so what ends up happening, right? As I end up practicing my Shinobu, Lily, back when I used to train and fight Babylon, alright? Lily, that's very, very important to this video. There's one guy, Lily, that has the almighty, haymakers on his channel. Lily is one of my favorite friends ever since childhood, which is Matt Miller. Not Lily, the fucking, the Blue Farces, fucking, Miller. Lily, but Lily, the one true hillbilly white boy. Lily, Matt Miller, alright? Literally, because what ends up happening, right? Literally, as I see all of them visible in bits and pieces, right? Knowing that I run the company, knowing I do this and that, I start, playing hockey, literally, with Max and Matt on TV. Literally, not only do I play sports, not only do I fucking play football, Robert Wilson, but things get way out of hand, all right? Literally, I mean, way out of hand to a point you cannot comprehend, okay? Now, when it comes down to it, you need to understand that when the actual school gets more into detail, literally, I brought Rainer along, alright? So it starts off with me teaching everybody how to dance, including Elisa Pade, alright? Literally, so what ends up happening, right? Is that I see multiple people learn Lily their bitches there so James is in and out Lily, and the one thing you don't understand the concept of invisibility is that the reason why Lily Asperger's hurts is because invisibility isn't precise, because James can be wearing your outfit, he can be wearing the thing that you wore from that vanilla Lily, and it wouldn't mean shit. And by the way, Lily, that happened. Lily was in the movie theater, this crew was so real. It's so literally fucking visible when it came to bits and push when it came to business. Literally, that Daniela, Lily, and Arita both set me up in the movie theater. Lily, that's how real the fucking shit was. And it came all the way to the abilities. You see, that's the shit that Lily I was trying to tell you, alright? So, where it came down, to Matthew, Miller, alright? Lily, forget the whole central thing you're asking, Lily, that I forget that him and Matt were completely lie because of what's automatically sexual. I say that as a pun, by the way. Literally, so what ends up happening, right, is that we scheduled this day for Scandia, all right, back when I'm practicing for Shinobu for older brother Babylon, all right. Literally, so I get Chris, all right. Literally, Chris shows me a physics person at the end of the movie. Literally saying, I don't want you to get my pizza, literally. So he keeps the whole pizza to himself. You wanna know why? Because he figured out I had the shit. He figured out that we were in the arcade, literally. I was taking things as a delicacy. Then what do you have to understand? There was also, clear for this video. It's at 28. I have a little bit of blood due to, walking around a lot, literally going to the beach, literally getting hot Cheetos, literally covered in nacho cheese. Alright? So this is the haymaker. This is the kicker for the video. Alright? Because what ends up happening, right? Literally is when we go to Scandia, I get to do everything literally that's in line, literally. So this is a beautiful story because what ends up happening during DDR, they have the whole story between me and the Evangelion. Okay, so when I beat Chris and DDR slightly, what ends up happening, right? Is I come back home, literally, and so what I showed you, the delicacy for skills, everything for the reality show, literally. When I get there, Alright? When I get my little toys for Scandia shit, I'm still 28, Lily, but I still have the reality show and the music, Lily, so it makes sense, right? Lily, me, Matt, Lily, Max, all the bitches in my bed, start watching The Life and Times of Jim Police. Boom! Lily, there's orange. Lily, that's when everything is working. Lily, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't feel sorry for society. I do not care what the society has to say about me, Lily, because what ends up happening, right? Lily is laying down the line during the, Oakley, tragedy, board station. I actually see Matt, the one who I'm teaching how to dance, do a move in front of me. My almighty friend, Lily, from childhood Boy Scouts and junior high, that stuck into multiverse theory, Lily, and I had no idea that a lot of this girl thing called the best violence that gets you, Lily, into further things like that. Lily has you single mother crushing your soul, Lily, and that's the thing you don't understand about this video, alright? I said, fuck this America. I don't care if it's this society. I don't care if it's this or that. And I don't care, Lily, if she was saving in the back of her head, Lily, while I was talking to her about believing. I don't care any about this shit, Lily. I brought my own friends from junior high, Lily, through multiverse theory, and I don't have the right to feel proud about it, alright? So you need to understand that, okay? Lily, fucking my almighty, girl from drama class, Deeper is there. Lily, and then we start making Punch and Raina specifically with 2003. Lily, it was a beautiful fucking story, all right? Lily, and when Courtney's there, Lily, we're watching anime together, we're watching music together. Lily, I'm teaching them how to dance, Lily. And so, the reason why this is very important, right, is because, this is a sign up for lesbian cops. What older women that are in the police force, Lily, that are low on domestic violence points, actually do when they see me, is they recognize from all the girls I grabbed from family, for all the baby mamas that I have, for this, and that, Lily, they recognize that I stood up for my handsome. And whenever I told you, Lily, how buds are out whacking, they're stupid like Angela Rules, Lily, what ends up happening is that they're mad, Lily. They want me to get with somebody ugly. They want me to get with somebody ugly in order to fucking prove, Lily, and push reverse psychology. I'm like, fuck that, Lily. I stood up for my handsome, and there you go. So guess what ended up happening? I made a vow to die, guys. Lily, at the group home, I got worried about porn. Alright, Lily. So what happens, Lily, when things drag on? I get worried about porn. What ended up happening between you two is that you got the end result of saying, oh, well, at least I didn't have him suck up Lily to a fucking normal girlfriend. And let's let him do all that freaky shit. That's the example of society that gets butt fuck anal, Lily, like a bud in the meaning. Lily, and what ends up happening, externally, guys, Lily, is I got what I wanted out of a woman. I got what I want out of life, but you didn't get what you wanted out of me, in terms of reaction, but you got to control the end result, didn't you? So I'm saying, fuck you, Lily. That was my gift of knowing what delicacy is. That's what happens when you go against, blue is big, red is small. Red is actually big. Alright? Lily, so it's true. Alright? Lily, I saw everybody. I saw the cameos. Lily, I saw us watching Tsunami. I saw Deborah and Sydney. Lily, I see everything, in bits and pieces, but it's still one whole picture. Lily, all the way to a point when we're watching Tsunami, Lily, we're doing everything. They know I have a left leg, and they know that I made the next Wilson shade of Gracie on the radio, right? Lily, it's true. It's completely true. All the way to a point where I'm seeing Max, Lily, a chance. Lily, I'm seeing in the multiverse spirit with him and his girl. Lily's like, I'm saving this for Eris. This is that. And that was one of my greatest friends in the universe. Alright? Lily, you can't tell me wrong, Lily. That's the good time I had. That was, 28, throughout 29, Lily. And at 30, they fucked me up by understanding the full concept of it, So fuck the skateboard, fuck everything, When I cut it in half, because my original plan was to, put my music on the radio and wait for producers. Lily, I had no idea they called out what was hope. And you're failed. What you failed, Lily, fucking any teachers or any blood, Lily, is what you need to understand is that when you took the opportunity to attack me while I had anything but the signature, but I had Chase written in my name, Lily, you fucked up in your own philosophy because you played out with social signals, but you didn't play off everything socially intertwined. And that was your, faggot ass fault, alright? Lily, so it's true. Lily, the whole time I had a girl like a orangutan, Lily, and when I dropped the fabulous, Lily, you guys were like this, and that. Lily, in the whole meaning, Lily, of the one-tone society is why you fail, alright? Lily, that's why skills is for higher society. Alright, and that's what you need to understand, Lily. You're still on fucking bum shit. You're still on fucking people who don't like you for who you truly are. And you're still on social signals, Lily. What I did the same thing you did for 1,000 fucking times, Lily. That's why I played hockey, Lily, with Max and James on TV, Lily. And that's why James, Lily, was the second in command. But in this video, with my homie Matt, Lily, he is definitely second in command where it comes to life. And so the video I'm dropping later on down the day, Lily, is gonna blow your mind. Lily is gonna stay on topic, Lily, and we are gonna bring it back, Lily, to the key that I figured out about this video that you don't know in the middle of the domestic violence, which is 27, the golden year. Alright, now think about it. Bye.